Are you ready to practice? Mini practice, but transformational. Just having the willingness to show up, to be here, and let's get started. We are going to be using a wall on the side body, so that's why I've moved all the plants out of the way for now, so that you can really see me clearly from the side. And the left hand is going to be using the wall first. Then we have our chair, turning it so that the railing is facing us. We're going to be coming into Uttita Hasta Paramushasana and a strap handy for a couple of poses times. From Tadasana, having the support of the wall, we're lifting the right leg up and placing the back of the heel on the chair. Firm the legs, lift the chest. Press your left foot down and then press into the left heel even more. And as you press down, see if you can feel that lift rising upwards. Follow it. Have more and more sensitivity and sensation around it. An umbrella opening in the chest. And 2. And 1. Holding the back of the knee. And releasing. Tadasana. Turning. So we have to move the chair to the other side so that our right hand can use the wall. Lifting the left leg up. Placing the heel. Make sure that standing foot is facing forward, that it's not turning open. Roll this lifted leg in so the kneecap really faces the sky. And feel how this left hip might be lifting. Use the hand to push it down and back. Bolt the outer hips towards each other, looking for stability there. Breathing. And lifting the chest to the sky. And 2. And 1, helping the leg to come out and finding Tadasana. Moving the chair back to the other side. Left hand on the wall for support. Now we really want to use this right hand behind the back of the right knee so that we can access the joints. We need to help the leg. So lifting up in alignment, so not out to the side or inwards. And extending, heel to the chair. Femurs in, lift the chest, and 2, pull this hip down, and 1, holding the back of the knee with alignment coming down, redistributing the weight through both feet. And lifting the leg back up, extending, heel to the chair, lift up, don't sink into it, lift up, outer left hip coming in, press this front thigh down, but grip the legs, so you're not overextending the back of the knee, and 2, and 1, hand to the back of the knee with alignment coming out, redistribute the weight. Third and final time. Lifting, extending, grip the leg muscles, press down into that left heel and make sure you're not overextending the back knee. Don't push this left knee back, grip the muscles up, femurs in, lift the chest, and 2, and 1, holding the back of the knee and coming out, Tadasana. Moving the chair, same thing with the left hand side. So right hand to the wall, from Tadasana. Lifting and extending in alignment. Grip the legs. Outer left hip down, lift the chest, 2. And 1, exiting with alignment. Tadasana, redistribute the weight. And again, lift and extend. Grip the muscles. Make sure you're not overextending the back of the knee. You're not pressing backwards. Grip the muscles up. Scoop the outer right hip in. Outer left hip down, lift the chest, 2. And 1, holding the back of the knee. Coming out in alignment. Redistribute the weight. Tadasana. Third and final time. Back of the knee. Lift. And extend. Make sure this leg isn't rolling open. Roll it in. Kneecap faces the sky. Press into the right heel. Don't push the knee back. Squeeze the quadriceps up. Femurs up. Front spine lifting, and 2, and 1. Holding the back of the knee, coming out. Tadasana. Turning the chair, taking our straps, and making in our straps a loop. Left hand is going to be supported by the wall. Front Tadasana, holding the back of the knee, extending. Immediately engage those actions. Be firm, sharp. Coming forward with our loop, around the sole of the foot. One hand holds each side of the loop, pulling the outside edge of that right foot towards the outer hip. Lift the chest. If it's hard to balance, keep the left hand on the wall, pull with this right hand, but keep pulling the outer right side of that right foot towards the right hip. Lots of rights there. Lift the chest. Grip the leg muscles up. Don't overextend the backs of the knees. Now we're going to come forward and see if we can reach for the handles of the chair, but coming first of all forward, holding the strap, elbows broadening, re-grip the legs, femurs into the hip sockets. Don't overextend the backs of the knees. Squeeze the inner knees towards the inner groins, up, lengthen, 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 and then reaching if you can for the back of the chair and pulling. That's it, keep the legs gripped, keep the hips even, shoulders broadening. And 3, and 2, and 1. Looking up and coming out. Releasing. And changing sides. Bringing the chair over to the other side of the mat. Preparing to lift the left leg. The right hand is supported on the wall. Holding the back of the knee. Lift. And extend. Make sure the knee is facing the sky, the leg is rolling in, the hips are stable. Now we're going to place the loop on the arch of the foot and see if we can hold the loop, lift the chest, pull the outside edge of that left foot towards the left hip, and if that's unstable, placing one hand on the wall and doing that movement with one hand. Don't let that right hip, the standing leg hip, drop to the side. Suck it in and lower that left hip. Grip the muscles so that you're never pushing the back of the knee, overextending the back of the knee. And lift the chest as much as you can. Keeping all of that intact, we're coming forward. First of all with the strap, the elbows broadening. Keep gripping the legs over and over again. Developing that intelligence, that connection, that sensitivity there as we come forward, grip. Feel your right heel firm, and then if possible, holding on to the railing of the chair, pulling ourselves forward. Check where your weight has gone on the standing leg. Keep the heel pressing down, grip the thigh muscles up, both femurs into the hips as we extend forward, the spine extending, the sternum leading. If the elbows are able to bend, broadening them apart so the back broadens 2, and 3, and 2, and 1. And looking up, exiting, and releasing. I forgot to hold the back of the knee. That wasn't good. And coming out. Okay, turning the chair to the other side of the mat, but this time, we have the seat of the chair facing us, and we can move the strap down to the floor. Left hand on the wall for support as needed. Right leg forward, left leg back. That back foot is turned in, but not all the way. Just like that, but the back thigh is rolling in, so your hips are really turning to face the chair. Now grip these legs up, rather than pushing the knees back and overextending the backs of the knees, both of them. Grip the thigh muscles up, femurs in, hips stable, and exhaling forward, and bring the chair in as needed, so that you're like this in half pose, leading with the sternum area. Squeeze that back inner knee. Find the back thigh and roll it in and feel the hips follow. Grip this front thigh up. The back outer heel firm. The front heel and the big toe firm. Now press down into the hands to move the chest forward. Over and over again. Try to move these ribs here that connect to the top of the abdomen away from the abdomen so you have more space there. And 3, and 2, and 1. Coming up, keeping that stability in the hips. And releasing, and moving the chair to the other side. A simplified Paschimottanasana. Right hand has the wall for support. Whoops. Very crooked chair. There we go. And left leg forward. Checking your back foot first. All the firmness and stability of the pose will come from the back leg. Press into the outer back heel. Roll that back thigh in. Feel the hips follow. Now grip the legs up so you're not overextending the backs of the knees. Gripping up to the hips and then coming forward. Finding the chair, moving it in as needed so that we're in this position. Reconnect to the outside edge of that back foot. Squeeze the back inner knee. And roll the back shin in, the back thigh in. Feel those hips really follow with that movement. Now grip the leg muscles up all the way to this top third of the thigh. Very hard area to reach. How can we grip up into there so that we're not pushing the energy back here and overextending? Grip all the way up. Press into the hands. Open the chest. Back ribs in. And 3, and 2, and 1. Coming up with integrity in the hips and the legs. And then releasing. All right, changing sides one last time. Simplified Paschimottanasana with a twist. So right leg forward. Left leg back. Turn already. Press into the outer back heel. Press into the front heel and the front big toe. Turn those hips. Stabilize the hips. Femurs in. And exhaling forward. Finding the chair. And don't pull it in this time. We're going to use the railing of the chair. So adjust forward. Arm extensions with the outside, the ulnar part of the wrist on that back railing. Extending. Now press into the outside edge of the back heel. Roll the back shin in. Roll the back front thigh in. Feel the hips turn even more. Extend the arms as much as possible and lower the head so that the back of the neck is long. Now grip the thighs up. Don't push the knees back. Grip the thighs up over and over again. The hips moving back. The chest moving forward. And the last little bit of this pose, as you're extending those arms forward, press into the railing of the chair so that the legs of the chair that are closest to you lift off the mat. That's it. And press the outside edge of the back heel down and extend through those arms and lift the legs of the chair off the mat. Good. Press the shoulder blades in and move them down the back. Feel the armpits opening. Re-grip the legs. And 3, and 2, and 1. Bring the feet down to the mat again. And looking up, hands back to the chair. Re-grip the legs. And coming back up. Changing sides. So you can really feel how this part of the leg should be working, burning, new sensations, new ability to get in there and feel and adjust. Left leg forward, right leg back. Prepare. Connect with the outside edge of the back heel. Roll the back thigh in. Turn the hips already. Grip the legs all the way up And coming down, finding the chair, the first part of the pose. Keep adjusting, feeling, and now adjusting the chair as needed so that you can put the ulnar part of the wrist on the railing of the chair. The palms face each other. Stretch the arms. Lower the head so that the back of the neck is long. Don't push the head forward. Reconnect with the outside edge of that back foot. Press down into the outer heel and turn the back shin in. Turn the front thigh of that back leg, the right leg. Roll it in. Feel the hips follow more. Grip the leg muscles upwards. See if you can simultaneously feel the head of that femur bone being gripped up into the hips. The hips and buttocks moving back as the arms stretch forward. And stretching forward so much that the 2 feet of the legs of the chair closest to you are lifting up off the mat. So you're tilting the chair. Keep the actions of the legs. Breathing. And 3. And 2. And 1. Looking back up. And hands to the chair. Holding those actions intact as we lift up. And exhale. And releasing. Alright, let's move the chair just to the side for a little bit. And take our strap and lie down. Supta Padangusthasana. So essentially the same pose that we've been doing, Supta Padangusthasana 1, but now having the support of the floor behind us to teach us about the back body, the back hips, the sensations that we feel there and how we can bring more evenness and more presence there. So the feet against the wall, the heels are firm, the thighs are rolling in, and the roots of the thighs are firm. We're not overextending the backs of the knees, we're gripping upwards. Sacrum, lower buttocks moving towards the heels. So not overarching the lower back either. Having our strap, and the loop is going to be a little bit determined by the backs of your legs, so we can adjust as needed. So for now, bending the right knee towards us, placing the loop on the arch of the foot, one hand holds each side of the loop, and then extending and finding Supta Padangusthasana 1. Don't bring the leg towards you like this. Try to really have, as much as possible, the leg perpendicular to the ground. Pull with your hands and really pull with the right hand, which connects to the outside edge of that right foot, so that the outer right foot is coming towards the outer right hip. Press that left thigh right here down, and make sure the inner groin of the left leg is moving towards the mat. But also the outer thigh cutting down, so that balance. The heels firm. Now pull with those hands to lift and open the chest, without arching the lower back. More coming from the dorsal spine, the thoracic spine, the ribs underneath the shoulder blades, pressing up. That's it. Pull, push, feeling everywhere, breathing. And 3. And 2. And 1. Bending the knee back down, releasing and connecting both feet to the wall, Supta Tadasana. Left hand side, placing the strap and extending. Remembering if your tendency is to be very flexible, to make sure to move the leg so that the leg is perpendicular, not coming like this. In this way, we've got that clean connection here, looking at the joints, feeling bones into sockets. Pull with your left hand more on the strap to feel the outside edge of the foot coming towards the outer left hip. Make sure the right leg on the floor is rolling in so that the inner groin is moving towards the mat. Press the front thigh down and cut the outer thigh down also towards the mat. Looking for that balance, bringing stability to the hips. And then pulling with our hands to lift and open the chest. The shoulder blades pressing up. The ribs underneath the shoulder blades pressing up. The side ribs broadening. And then bending the knee and releasing Supta Tadasana. Make sure you're still in the middle of the mat, that the back body has a sense of even distribution. One more time on each side with a little bit of a shift. So bending the right knee and placing the loop. See now if your hands can go closer towards the foot. So you're holding the strap in your hands rather than the end of the loop. And see if you could draw that right knee closer. Ekkapada Supta Pavana Muktasana. Even drawing the right knee to the right side of the body, to the right waist, to the right armpit. And now the groin having been opened, bring that leg to the center point again. Feel the femurs coming into the hip sockets. And without moving the thigh, extend that right leg. So now we're coming into a closer version, extending. But as you extend the leg, even though it's closer towards us, you want to keep resisting with the front of this thigh, pushing this front thigh to the wall so that the femur stays connected. So there's that grippiness. Make sure you're not overextending the back of the knee action. You have to squeeze upwards as if you're standing and then iron the front thigh to the bone. Elbows broadening. Keep resisting with the front thighs. And now bending the knee, finding Ekkapada Supta Pavana Muktasana. Bringing the knee to the right, a deeper, slightly different variation of Ekkapada Supta Pavana Muktasana. And then back to Supta Tadasana. Taking a moment to adjust the back body so we can see that reflecting through the front body. And now lifting the left leg up, loop on the foot, drawing the knee closer and bringing it to the left armpit, the left waist, deepening, the groins opening. And then bringing the leg back in so it's centralized, not moving the thigh, and just extending the calf, moving towards the heel. Keep moving the calf towards the heel and drawing the leg closer, but make sure to resist with the front of this thigh towards the thigh bone and the front of this thigh pressing down. Remembering the lessons we learned of not overextending the back of the knee. Imagine you're standing, that same gripping upwardness with the quadriceps, and then ironing them to the bone, bringing the leg closer and closer and closer, and 3 and 2. And now bending the knee through Ekkapada Supta Pavana Muktasana, bringing the knee to the left, deepening. And then releasing and Supta Tadasana. Rolling those front shoulders back, the chest open, the face relaxed. And now rolling over, pushing ourselves out. And it's time for our last and final pose. We're going to take our chairs have them here. We're going to take a bolster, 2 blocks and 2 blankets and meet back on the mat. So here we are for the final part of our practice, a really beautiful restorative experience. So we have the chair, we have 2 blocks like this that we're going to be sitting on. We have the bolster. This blanket is just folded in half. So it's like this, and I folded it like that, and you're lining it up with the middle of the sides of the bolster, and of course with the blocks. And then this blanket, we're doing a 3-fold, an accordion fold, like that. So it's a little bit thicker, and it's coming right here. Let's come into it. So, we want to sit on the blocks, bring the legs out to the chair. If you can't have legs lifted because it's your moon cycle, just do the same pose with the legs on the floor, the knees bent. Coming back, and as we come back, we're moving our sacrum towards the chair. And we'll see that our shoulders find this first blanket, the trifold blanket. And then our arms like this, the elbows pretty much in line with the shoulders, and you can feel the outer upper arms being also supported by that blanket. Relaxing the abdomen completely, relaxing the legs completely. And then closing the eyes. We'll be here for 3 minutes. Just soft, smooth, even breath cycles. And with each exhale, the abdomen relaxing more and more towards the lower back, towards the bricks, so that it's making that beautiful bowl shape, a complete meltedness. we're just going to prepare to move backwards. So keeping the eyes closed, feeling from inside. We're going to bend our knees more and bring our feet to the front rim of the chair so that we can push ourselves backwards. Our hips coming back over the bolster. And that blanket that was underneath our shoulders, we're going to move it. So just lift the hips and buttocks, move that blanket so that you are lying just on the spinal blanket. And we can use that extra blanket underneath the head and neck. And then we're just going to bend our knees more and find Sukhasana, crossed ankles on the bolster. Shavasana arms, so rolling the shoulders back and the arms extended diagonally away from the trunk. And resting here. And now changing the cross of our ankles. And with an exhalation, repacifying. And then uncrossing the ankles. Turning over to the side. Our Shavasana is complete. And as we come out of our practice, just taking a little moment of thanks and of recognition that the willingness to start the practice flows with the energy of right action. Noticing how different we feel now. And then, welcome back. Our practice is complete. Bringing that alignment of the vehicle, of the mind, and of the energetic sphere into refinement, and seeing what comes forth of the rest of the day. Inevitably, more wonder, more magic, and less isolation. Take care.